Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. I'm Kyler. That's Michael. Today we're talking about the White Truck BTS behind the scenes.
This is the one I've been waiting for. I enjoyed the commentary and I enjoyed filming it, but there was so many things that I was holding back from saying in the commentary just because we wanted to make this video separately. We wanted to make a commentary solely commentary, nothing necessarily too funny. We had to throw in like a couple things, but nothing too crazy. This is where the craziness happens. Get ready for the stories, because I think
This is going to be super fun.
one of the favorite ones for me is definitely going to be the burger.
We'll get there. We'll get to the burger. The burger. Yeah. We shot an entire sequence with this Whataburger.
It was just
it
before.
never made the cut. We'll get to it. We
Yeah,
need to
okay.
talk about other things first.
This is true. It's true.
First thing we need to talk about, we mentioned it in the creator commentary, but hello there. How are you? We have a guest in our audience. Her name's Anna. We talked about the plane in the creator commentary, but we wanted to bring it up again because it was just one of those moments where it's like the clouds parted and just sunlight shone through. Angels sang. It was glorious. It was one of those great moments.
Yeah.
But you should tell the story once again for everyone.
We were trying to get the plane shot, the holy grail of shots for this video, at least for the morning half. So, at least for the morning shots, that's what we were going for. We couldn't find it, so I hopped in the back of my truck, and everybody was down by my tailgate. And they were all just like, oh, how are we gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. And I look up, and I'm like, oh, there's a plane coming. Wait, there's a plane coming! Like that? Go! Oh, man. So, just as the plane was coming into frame, we started rolling, got the shot off, and couldn't have timed it better.
Oh my gosh, when we cut that shot, we all just kind of looked at each other and screamed. It was
That happened!
like, seriously, it was the
Yeah.
clouds parted and angels sang. It was one of
really
those
was.
freaking moments. It was awesome. That's a memory.
Oh, 100%.
That's a memory I won't forget.
Yeah.
Another story we need to talk about is Michael's highway story. So
Yes.
we started shooting in Grapevine at a place called Founders Plaza
At the butt crack of dawn.
at the butt crack of dawn. And then we had to eventually go to Braden's house to shoot some indoor stuff
In Denton.
in Denton. Take it away.
Grapevine to Denton. What was that, about an hour's drive?
Something like that. 40 minutes, an hour.
I'm a pretty safe driver, but I do get bored from time to time. And we were on a toll road. Generally on toll roads, there's nobody, especially if it's like the middle of the day, which it was.
It was 10 a.m.
It was really still that early.
It was 9 or 10 a.m.
I don't even remember that.
We
But-
started at 4 a.m., guys.
Butt crack of dawn. I was going. There's nobody on the highway. I mean, there's a few cars, like a handful of them. But I was like, ooh, Thomas and Kyler are way ahead of me. I'm going too slow. Brrr! And I'm flying past Kyler at 97 miles an hour, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I just sit there just laughing as I'm flying by. And I let off, and I slowed down enough to where they can both catch up to me, and he's just like, why? Kyler doesn't like loud cars.
I hate loud cars. It is the literal worst sound in the world to me. If your car can't control its exhaust,
He's really not going to like it when I do a muffler delete.
oh my gosh. Before we get to the burger, we need to talk about the hat.
Oh, I gotta tell this one too. I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna sit
This is
here.
my BTS. This is not his.
I'm just gonna sit here and drink my cold coffee.
there are some stories like I'll let you tell the burger story because that one is that's all
That's
you.
my bad.
That's all you.
Anyway.
So the hat story. We recorded I think it was twice.
Rolling.
Braden on top of
Thank
his
you.
truck.
Yeah.
There was one where it was
vomit.
like there was no sun.
Action.
There was not even like any
It was
like hint.
dark blue sky.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Yeah.
And then we did one a little later, so that was the second
Focus.
one of the same thing, just trying to get it like I guess a different version of the same shot.
Yeah, it was supposed to be closer. And I mean, it was closer, but yes.
And he put more flair and emphasis on the second shoot. And so like he was like really getting into it with all his motions, his dancing and stuff like that. And towards the end of the song,
That part of the shot even got into the video.
yeah. That's true.
Part of this hat thing got
Mhm.
into the video.
Yeah, so and I think we might have mentioned this in the commentary. I'm
We
pretty
did.
sure.
We
But
yeah. Come to think
so
of it, we did. I
he
forgot.
was dancing and he grabs his hat and you'll see it in the music video. He grabs his hat and he just tosses it.
And
he
it's
just
not
keeps
like
going,
he wasn't like aiming for anything.
No,
it was
he
just
just trumpet.
emphasis.
Yeah.
Just,
It was all about
Yeah.
like the moves and the feel. But there was a good at least 30 seconds left on that video.
yeah.
Like just to keep going and,
just that
and
there
singing
was
through
another
it and
30
stuff.
seconds to shoot.
And in the background, Thomas, myself, Christian, and I think that was it.
I was laughing too. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
had to really control it because I
Yeah.
had the camera.
We're all in the background trying to like, and honestly, I don't know, like, other than the fact of just for the purposes of the shoot, we were trying to keep our laughs to a minimum, even though we weren't going to use the audio from the videos. It was just
I
more of
didn't
a
want to
distraction.
distract Braden.
Yeah, it was more of a distraction, so we kind of kept quiet, but we were all trying so hard not to laugh because where that hat landed was on top of the awning of the bench was a good 10 feet in the air.
Yeah,
So-
a little picnic table with a nice like canvas awning.
Yeah. A little precursor to this, I brought my JBL Extreme 2. It's a fairly large speaker. It's like a party speaker. And it has like a hard shell carrying case. And so we were using the JBL to play the audio in the background so that Brady could
sync.
know how to sync up with the song. And I was like, there's no way we're getting this. We have to throw something at it. And I'm like, I have an empty case. I'll just chunk it. So I just pelt it with the underside with the carrying case. And there it goes. It goes flying down. But seriously, that was
The carrying case. You threw the speaker.
no. I definitely didn't.
You threw the speaker.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, even Thomas is behind the camera. He's also agreeing with me.
No, I remember you threw the red speaker at it.
No.
I would not be that stupid.
Yeah, but you were thinking about it. I said, don't do it. Don't he threw the
Guys,
case.
that JBL speaker is $350. I'm not throwing that in the air.
It was great.
Anyway. So, shout out to Braden's hat.
Yeah, man. That was one of the best parts of the morning. Other than the plane shot, that was one of the best ones.
My list says we now need to talk about the burger. The burger,
Boy,
guys.
oh boy.
The burger. Like I said earlier, we had to shoot this section that had Mia and Braden eating, just because they needed. It was a MacGuffin, really. It was something
It's a
to
prop.
fill the scene.
It was a
Yeah,
prop.
it was a prop.
That's really what it was.
Essentially, it was a prop,
Yeah.
but I mean, we couldn't just in our heads. There needed to be a motivation for them sitting down at a table together.
Yeah.
So we went and bought Whataburger for them to eat. They didn't really eat much of it.
Eat.
Yeah, they ate about 4 bites of it because I told them, hey, take small bites because we're gonna do this a lot. We need you to still have food in the end. And so,
And then
with production comes challenges, and you have to make decisions on the fly. Initially, I had storyboarded this to where they were having an argument, and at the end, Braden takes off his cap and throws it on the floor. He decided he would not wear a cap, and we had to figure out what to do.
what was he going to throw? I think you see where this is going.
So I thought, well, we got to show that you're angry somehow about this whole argument you're having. So smack the burger off the table.
I am rolling. And like do the countdown like do a 3, 2, 1 when you're about to swipe it. 1 on swipe, yeah. So 3, 2, 1.
Was not prepared for
I don't know if I got that.
That's all right, man.
Smack the burger off the
Smacked the
table.
burger off the table, and he was like, "Man, but this is my house. I don't want to just get it messy."
Let that sink in.
So, we do this probably about 8 times.
I would argue maybe a little less, like
Less?
6, but
6
still
times?
a significant amount of times to throw a single burger.
We smacked a burger
in it,
more than 5 times.
singular, as in just one burger
One
that
burger.
we reassembled each time. Each time! So, like, meticulously picking up all the lettuce off of the floor,
The little onion bits,
the onion bits, oh my
wiping
goodness.
any mustard off of the seriously.
And yourself?
That was, I don't think I caught it. And 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I got it that time.
We were.
Thomas.
So we didn't want to make a big mess, so I figured, you know what, fine. I will get in the line of the burger's path,
I volunteer as
And-
tribute.
catch the burger before it hits the ground. And it never happened, and you can see that in the footage. I missed the burger every time.
3, 2, 1.
Every time.
Mustard got on the island in the kitchen, onion was on the floor. It was awful. And shout out
That's
to
amazing.
shout out to Braden for putting up with us for that. It never got used. It looked so bad when I tried to put it into the actual video. Didn't work. It was like everything was good up to that point, and then there was the burger, and it was just like it turned into the dumbest video ever.
That's the
So-
irony behind this whole thing too, is it never, not even a single piece of that entire scene got used. It was all left out. Every last bit of it.
Next we have fingers.
I like this story.
Do you want to
You
tell it or
don't?
should I tell this story? Alright, here's the story about fingers. Okay? I storyboarded this entire video shot for shot. Thomas, who is operating our camera right now, was in charge of the storyboard day of. Like, when we went in, we knew exactly how everything would look when we shot it. Granted, I mean, we got extra shots here and there, but overall, I went through and every time we completed a scene, I made a check mark on that box. Storyboarded the entire thing, helped the process immensely. That being said, I suck at drawing. So,
Take it away. I don't remember exactly when we noticed it. I think it was when we were
Oh, it was
back at
midday.
Braden. Were we back at Braden's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it was midday.
Yeah,
we
we
were
were-
in Braden's house at least.
Yeah, yeah. So we were flipping through, I think it was when we were taking our break at 4 p.m.
Something like that.
So we were flipping through the
Or
storyboard.
lunchtime.
Excuse me. We were flipping through the storyboard while we were on break, and we were all looking at it, even though it was basically like Kyler was the one that was trying to figure out what next shot to do. And I just so happened to be looking over his shoulder at the right time because he's flipping, and he flips, and I see something, and he's flipping. I said, "Wait, go back." And so he flips back like 1 or 2 pages. I'm like, "Stop right there. What the heck is Braden doing in this scene?" And he's like, he's pointing like he's angry. And we all about lost our minds because he was not doing this.
He was most definitely doing this.
Yeah. I said I didn't do it. And it was less of this and more of this. It was this. It was.
Mask all
Yeah.
of this. That's what we're gonna do.
Have fun with that one.
So I suck at drawing is the takeaway here.
But okay, so going from, I guess, in the midst of us taking the break, kind of leads us to our next thing where we took a break and we all kind of had a little bit of fun, and I'll let you. finish that
Yeah,
out.
so here's kind of the timeline of how the day went. I woke up at like 3 a.m., left the house, what, at 4?
Yeah, because I spent the night.
Yeah. So we left the house at 4 a.m. I mean, we broke for lunch and whatever, and we even had breakfast too, but I mean, that's really small breaks compared to how much we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Finally get to 4 p.m., 12 hours later, and we have this gap where it's like, well, we need to shoot stuff outside, but it needs to be dark, so we have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
And when we shot this in March, so I mean, it was still getting darker sooner. Point is, when we hit 4 p.m., we had a break, and my wife and our actress Mia, they ended up napping. They just found couches in the living room and napped.
Yeah.
Me, Mike, Brady, and Christian were all sitting at the kitchen table, and we were talking. Christian was curious about like film stuff and video stuff, and
Yeah,
so we
yeah.
were just discussing film, YouTube techniques, basics, whatever you want to call it,
All the stuff with the thing.
all the stuff. And so we talked about that for a bit. Most of us were nearly passed out
Yeah,
because we were so
tired.
tired.
Dude, I didn't have nearly enough water that day either.
Oh my gosh!
Like I was definitely dehydrated. That's all.
As I was talking with Christian, I saw him just going.
Yeah,
And
he was getting tired.
anyway, eventually we went and had dinner at a place called Barley and Board.
Great place.
Wonderful burgers. Wow.
And according to Braden, they've got pretty good. He got a Kentucky Mule. Yeah, he got a Kentucky Mule
Kentucky Mule.
because it has. It's got vodka in it. It said.
I don't remember.
Oh no, it's Moscow.
That's in Moscow.
It's got something in it
Whatever.
instead. It's got
Point
the
is-
variation behind it.
Barley and Board was great. And yeah, then afterward we just kind of hung out for a while. We got some ice cream, and then headed back to the I was going to say dorm, and then I was going to say apartment, and I knew neither of those were right. We headed back to
Braden's house.
we headed back to Braden's house to shoot the rest of it. But we had a great break, and it was actually really fun to have that kind of community just built in because of the entire thing.
So we're gonna put a video up here.
All right, I'm rolling. Slate out.
So what you just watched is the funniest POV I could possibly give of Kyler standing over and straddling Braden to get a top-down shot
Oh, no, not that one.
on top of his truck. Another really funny photo of the day.
If we're gonna talk about photos like that,
Okay.
we need to show the photo on your desktop.
Oh, shall we do this now?
Just photo
Oh,
right here. This is Braden in all his glory.
Also,
Mask
the reason that we even have this photo was because I was outside of the truck while they were driving around getting the inside the car shots with Mia, and they were just driving in circles around the neighborhood, and every time they passed by me, Braden would flip me off. So I was taking pictures every time he flipped me off, and I found one that was just perfect because Kyler's holding the camera over Braden's head. Braden is sitting there driving, flipping me off, and Mia's just sitting there so sweet, smiling like nothing's ever going on. And I took that photo, I edited it, and now it is my screensaver. And by far is one of my favorite because I have
It's
it
a
on
funny-
cycle.
It's a funny photo.
Oh yeah.
It's a funny photo. Every time I see it on your desktop, I crack up about it. Another thing Braden did when we were on set, we had to have them argue. What were you
Yeah.
thinking about?
Also, if you want to see the unblurred version of that, you should go follow me on Instagram. It's BM_photos, FOTOZ on Instagram.
Follow him on Insta. Follow Red Relic Productions on Insta.
Yeah, them too. I hear they're pretty good at what they do.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so another thing Braden had to do when we were recording this video was we had to make Mia and Braden argue. And they needed something to argue about.
Yes.
And in the past, Braden has had some girlfriends, and one of them had used the excuse, something to the effect of, I feel like God doesn't want us to be together. And that's a whole other theological discussion if you want to have that at some point later, whatever. But just so they could act it out, they were arguing, and me and Mike were kind of feeding them some ideas. Every once in a while we would just like throw a word out there and be like, hey, say this, and they would say it, and then they would just kind of play off each other. And then Braden really got into it one time. I think I was outside. We had to put up a black sheet over the back window because the light was coming through too hard. So we put a black sheet up, but the wind would blow it. So I was holding it down outside. I didn't even hear this.
Yeah, because I was behind the camera recording, and you were outside holding it. That's
I was
what it
holding it. Yeah. And Braden goes, "And don't tell me God told you to break up with me."
What did I do wrong? Like, what's up with me? Why are you breaking up with me? Like, none of this makes any sense. And don't you dare say it was because God told you to. Don't do that. Don't pull that on me.
Another one of those like moments that I'm gonna remember.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Lastly, before we actually get out of here, we're gonna show some unedited footage, just some of the stuff we
Some raw photos too.
some raw photos, some raw footage, some BTS stuff, stuff that you just didn't see, or maybe we want to show you what it looked like before it was all put together. So enjoy, subscribe, like, comment what your favorite thing about the White Truck music video is. If you haven't seen it, you can click on it at the end screen. And
See you next time.
bye. We are rolling, all right? That's in focus, you're in focus.
Yeah, I'll say it's pretty good then.
I talked to the
Nothing,
cashier.
you just complained.
I talked to the cashier.
You complained the entire time
I
you were there.
eventually talked to
Did
the
nothing
cashier.
about
I
anything.
went back yesterday.
Did nothing about anything.
Why though? Like, can we talk?
I love DBU. It's actually a really good school.
It was great until that crack.
It was so great until actually I really like DBU.
We can do it again.
Yeah. Alright, cut.
Nothing. Period. Down the drain.
Yep.
What am I supposed to do with this?
You're just not worth it, Braden.
It's
Rolling, slate. Thank you. And action. Cut.
It's like, alright, fine.
Hey, look at him and just chat for a second. Just look towards him and just chat.
Just we're chatting. Yeah,
Okay.
Tell him more about
It was
Braden's
so
other
it was
blunders.
so freaking bad. It was so bad. And then literally that same day that we got home, he took them out.
Yeah,
Like the ear piercings.
I remember watching him take
Like
them
not
out.
even an hour after we got back, he goes upstairs, comes back down, and his ears are bleeding. I was like, dude,
Oh, no.
what happened? And he's like, yeah, I decided not to. I decided not. Okay, what is it?
Moist cheese curls.
Really just gonna be
Rolling?
We're all gonna love this. It's just gonna be me being a goober.
All right,
Being
action.
funny as heck.
Be a goober, man.
Just rolling around in here.
Show off the shoes. Nice. Just like slowly like belly slide out of your truck.
Yeah, pretty much. Just doing my thing, you know? Just kind of hanging out.
You ready? 3, 2, cut. Braden, let's point at the sky one more time, but focus out of the sky like you're actually watching a plane take off. Move your arm a bit like you're tracking it.
Dating Brittany at the time, and she brought me out here. She's like, "This is the spot," and I was like, "Oh."
It's gonna be a whole section of me just boop. You know how many boops you're gonna have by the end of this?
I know.
Boop, 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 boop.
Excuse me.